It's Thursday, October 16th. Tragedy on Ottawa's roads. A child struck by a dump truck dies in hospital.
Ottawa City Council votes to keep its plans for the T-Win development despite vocal opposition from councillors and residents.
They swept the next game to sweep the series.
Kirk hits one to the opposite field. It's hit well. It is gone.
And they are back in the series. The Toronto Blue Jays swing their way to their first win of the ALCS. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now.
Good Thursday morning. Come on in. I'm Rosie Eden.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb, and I just realized I have my Jays blue on today after a big win last night. Didn't plan it, but it worked out, so I might have to keep on planning the blue in my wardrobe.
No, or just don't think about it and then just kind of put it on naturally, because you know all these little details help to go with the wins.
Yes,
so,
fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Well, the CTV Your Morning 20K giveaway also continues, so we want to make sure you tune in every hour for the Daily Code Word, and of course your chance to win that $20,000.
Yes, keep an eye out a little bit later on this hour for today's code word and your chance to get in to win that $20,000. Full details on the code word coming up a little bit later on in our show. We're going to get right to our news headlines. Some Ottawa parents came face to face with the supervisor overseeing the city's largest school board for the first time last night. Some people have raised concerns about a lack of accountability and transparency since the province appointed Robert Plamondon and stripped Ottawa's Carleton District School Board trustees of their power. One of his first moves as the school board supervisor was canceling the controversial elementary program review last week. During last night's meeting, Plamondon responded to questions from committee members, highlighting his main priorities: student success and well-being, engagement of staff, and responsible management of finances. But OCDSB school trustee Donna Blackburn says she spoke with Plamondon only once and says the supervisor is not listening to parents.
I thought it was very interesting. I thought, the supervisor gave a good political speech. He said things that people in the room wanted to hear, but I don't see the rubber hitting the road anytime soon.
Normally, members of the public and media would be able to watch these meetings online, but the province ordered an end to the live streams.
In developing news, a child died in hospital after being struck by a dump truck. It happened yesterday afternoon on Presslin Road near Lola Street in Overbrook. Paramedics say the child was under 10 years old. Life-saving measures were performed on scene by responding officers before the child was rushed to hospital with critical injuries, where they later died. No other details have been provided.
Police are investigating an overnight shooting in Centertown that left a man with life-threatening injuries. Officers were called to a house on Somerset Street West near Kent Street around 1:35 a.m. yesterday. A man was found at the scene with gunshot wounds. He was brought to hospital in critical condition. Investigators were at the scene for much of the day, combing the area for any evidence. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Guns and Gangs unit.
Meantime, another labor dispute is threatening to disrupt transit service in Gatineau.
Now we just need to agree on the terms. Is it exactly what they asked for? But it's collective bargaining, so that's why we need to bargain around it.
Around 50 unionized supervisors are set to walk off the job Monday if a new contract is not reached by then. The STO says wages and job security are some of the main sticking points. If workers do go on strike, bus service will grind to a halt across Gatineau, which is worrying news for many commuters.
I need my STO bus pass in order to get to the doctor, to get my groceries, you name it, all my appointments. And now what am I going to do? I'm not rich.
I mean, I don't have money to take an Uber every day or go place to place. Like, that would honestly, really affect me.
The union representing the workers say the STO supervisors have been without a contract since 2023.
A major development in the labor dispute impacting colleges across the province. The two sides reaching a deal, officially putting an end towards the strike. More than 10,000 support staff walked off the job more than a month ago. The union confirming those picket lines came down yesterday and employees will return to work today. The details of the tentative agreement were shared with members but have not been made public. Union members will be voting on the deal in the coming weeks.
A city committee voted to keep the proposed two-in development despite vocal opposition. That was the final vote in a final-ditch effort to stop the two-in development. Developer Taggart and the Algonquins of Ontario want to build homes on 445 hectares in the rural southeast end. The Algonquin and Anishinaabe First Nation Tribal Council opposes two-in. The Algonquins of Ontario support the project, but they are not recognized by the federal government.
When the table is set and Algonquins of Ontario are there, that is not a table that the legitimate communities are going to be a part of.
Like to say that the AOO are not like a, I guess, a rights-bearing Algonquin entity is, in my opinion, totally wrong.
There are also concerns over lack of transit, the cost of infrastructure, and long-term maintenance, and if taxpayers will be on the hook.
The Toronto Blue Jays swing their way to a Game 3 win in the ALCS after the Jays lost the first two games of the series at home.
They swept the next game to sweep the series.
Kirk hits one to the opposite field. It's hit well. It is gone.
Captain Kirk up to the plate, and that one was out of there. A three-run dinger for Alejandro Kirk puts this one out of reach. The Jays' fourth homer of the night makes it 12-2 over the Seattle Mariners. Toronto takes Game 3, 13-4 to cut Seattle's series lead in half.
The Mariners now lead the American League Championship Series 2-1. Game 4 goes tonight.
Just a little bit of fun drama for all of our sports fans, especially the
Right.
Jays fans, although that's not the... Those are some big swings from the big loss to now the big win.
Finally got the bats going because they were crushing it against the Yankees, and then as soon as the Mariners were there, it seems like their bats just went stale. Like they couldn't hit anything.
It was odd, too, because they were at home.
Right,
It was
exactly.
like, what happened? And now they're
exactly.
away. They got their mojo
But
back.
they got that pressure on them now because you never want to go down 3 games, right? So the good news is it's they have a game, so they just need one more to tie the series. We're good to go.
That's what we're waiting for. And then they can bring it back home and feel a little bit less
right.
stress. Sometimes in front of the hometown crew, especially with the Toronto fans,
Yes.
can be a little bit nerve-wracking at times.
Some beautiful baseball weather maybe later on this afternoon. This morning, it is a little cool and looked like that. We just changed temperatures right on the fly. We were sitting at 2 degrees. Now it's only 1 degree outside. So definitely a cool start to your morning. You will need a jacket this morning. It is quite chilly if you're heading outside. The good news is we will warm up later on into the afternoon and very similar temps throughout the region. It is a cool start to your morning. -3 currently in Brockville. So very chilly start down in Brockville, 1 in Trenton, 3 currently in Kingston. So in our skies this morning, it is nice and clear outside. We're starting things off very, very clear, and into the afternoon, we will get to see lots of sunshine for us today. Temperatures reaching a high of 13, so a very similar day to what we did see yesterday, where temps will reach a high of 13 into the afternoon. Very seasonal for this time of the year. Similar across the region, temperatures ranging from 15 down in Trenton, Kingston, to 13 for us up here in Ottawa. 12 is the daytime high in Bancroft for this afternoon, 13 for the Valley, 14 for Gatineau, 10 is your daytime high over Mont-Tremblant. So still in those double digits for this afternoon. The weekend will warm up quite a bit, but it's looking a little soggy for a few days. 13 is also the high for tomorrow. Tonight's another cold one, dropping to -1, meaning tomorrow morning will be quite chilly Friday morning. It will warm up into the afternoon with that sun. 13 is your high. Then Saturday, right through into next week, there is a chance of some scattered showers, so we are going to see some wet weather. Still really warm temps into the weekend. 16 and 20 are your daytime highs. Average for next week for most of the week, but yes, it is looking a little bit soggy, but the overnight lows not nearly as cool. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic, and still no major issues east to west. Traffic is looking decent this hour. We are seeing no collisions or significant delays. Now here's your TSN must-see moment.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. And for it, we are checking in on a little NBA preseason with the Grizzlies taking on the Hornets. LaMelo Ball puts it through the defender's legs, then lobs it to Brandon Miller. Nice little alley-oop. Ball goes right through Jock Landale's wickets in transition, and Miller gets some height and a very nice finish. Ball, 23 points, 8 assists in 28 minutes, but more importantly, He has got your must-see moment. And coming up tonight on TSN, Week 7 in the NFL kicks off with a little Thursday Night Football. We have the Steelers facing the Bengals. Coverage for that one gets underway at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all for now from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
All coming up in Your Morning Ottawa, frustration over banking fees.
We're talking about over $600 million worth of money staying in people's pockets, so it's pretty huge.
No one wants to get stuck with their bank account in overdraft, and if you do, you could get hit with an NSF fee of $48. But after many complaints, changes are coming. Those details coming just ahead. Taking a peek through our Centennial Glass Skycam. It is 6:10 in the morning and feeling a little crispy out there, getting closer towards that freezing mark. Hopefully seeing some sunshine later on this afternoon into the low teens. Stay with us. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Wake up and start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could be $20,000 richer. Simply watch CTV Your Morning Ottawa for the daily code word. Then enter it online at ctvottawa.ca for your chance to win. Imagine what you could do with an extra $20,000. CTV Your Morning's $20,000 giveaway. Watch CTV Your Morning Ottawa, weekday morning 6 to 9.
Happy Thursday. Welcome back. Here are the big stories we are following today on Your Morning Ottawa. A child has died in hospital after being hit by a dump truck in Overbrook. Police are investigating an overnight shooting in Centertown that left a man with life-threatening injuries, and a labor dispute is threatening to disrupt transit services in Gatineau.
And if you've stepped outside, you've probably noticed it's feeling a little cooler through the morning today as we get really close towards that freezing mark. We dropped a degree just moments ago, down to 1. The good news, we will see some sunshine this afternoon. Temperatures will not be as warm as we saw yesterday, into the low teens, but it is a return for what we typically see this time of year. And taking a look at your roads at this hour, nothing major to report as we creep up to 6:15 this morning. With nice clear skies expected throughout the late morning into the afternoon. Shouldn't have any reduced visibility with any fog patches. As things start to develop, we'll be sure to let you know. If you pay a bill and there's not enough money in your account to cover a transaction, you could get hit with a non-sufficient funds charge. They're a major cause of frustration for some because even if your account is $1 short, you could have to pay a $48 penalty. But as CTV's Pat Foran reports, some things are changing.
I think that I'm not the only one that's dealing with this.
Elvira Townsend of Surrey, BC says she always tries to pay her bills on time, but recently her bank balance dropped to minus $9. She was immediately charged an NSF fee of $48, putting her account $57 in arrears.
I was very stressed out because I'm on disability and right now money is very tight.
Townsend says she applied for overdraft protection in the past, but her bank denied her because she had a lower credit score.
I know there's a lot of people struggling. I'm struggling, and that $48 is a lot.
Currently, Canada's major banks charge $45 to $48 per NSF transaction. The charges have helped banks profit billions of dollars since they were first implemented.
These fees tend to hit the people who can least afford them.
Changes to the fees will happen March 12th of next year. There will be a $10 cap on NSF fees. Banks can't charge more than one NSF fee within 72 hours. There can be no NSF fee if an account is short by less than $10, and banks must alert customers and give them time to deposit funds before charging an NSF fee. The Credit Counseling Society says 34% of Canadians are charged with at least one NSF fee each year.
We're talking about over $600 million worth of money staying in people's pockets, so it's pretty huge.
This is something positive.
Acorn Canada, a group that advocates for low and moderate income people, has been fighting for the reforms. Well, it says lowering the fees from $48 to $10 is a good start. It says Canadian banks should follow the lead of American banks. Many have scrapped NSF fees altogether.
It should be taken off completely, like they did in USA. And the banks is still going. The banks is still making profit.
Townsend is hopeful more changes can be made to help her and others be eligible for overdraft protection. Pat Foran, CTV News.
You know, I feel like that's one of the first things they need to teach in high school or even in junior high. NSF, what does that stand for? Non-sufficient funds, that can get you in trouble.
And it's funny that you say that, because I was going to go down the same path, because we were having discussions when we were talking about budgeting last week, you know, proper budgeting, monthly payments, how not to get in over your head. And it's the exact same thing I think about in high school. I can't remember ever a class learning about credit debt, savings, what to plan for.
Right.
You wouldn't even know what that stands for. You'd be like, what is this once you open a bank account? What's this $48 charge?
Yeah, and it can really set you back. And so it's about, like you said, it's about balancing. It's about knowing how much you have in your account, which is very basic, but a lot of us do run into that trouble, right? You get in there, you overspend. I mean, it's just quick tap here and there, or your credit card. And the month ends and you're, what's going on here? It's so important about the units. I call them units. They're dollars.
Yep.
And they exchange back and forth. And how do you keep that balance going? How do you not overspend? And that's another thing that they need to teach, right? Like living just slightly below your means, just slightly below what you make, so that you never run into that trouble where you're like, oh, gee whiz, I'm overdrawn.
Yeah, because a couple of expenses that you can make if you're budgeting for like a month, let's say, and you're not really paying attention to that, and you're just having enough money just to get by, and maybe you have an extra streaming service or something that takes that extra $18 to $25 out of your account.
There you go.
And then you get dinged with that charge, and you go, oh, like I didn't know. So that's why it's always so important to keep doing what you can to budget your monthly payments. Always make sure that the number going in is going to exceed the number that's getting taken out.
Exactly. And we're talking like this, and it's just to remind myself as well, because, you know, we're preaching here, but it's so important for us to be that example too to other people, right? For me, it's example to my daughter, like, you know, don't overspend. Think about what you need. Do you really need it? Is there a way that you can cut back a little bit, just so that story there, that you don't end up where you're just in a deficit, you're in massive debt?
Yeah,
Don't want to do that.
Yeah, I was really privileged to have, like, you know, my parents instilled that in me at a young age. My dad just talking about savings from, you know, 14 on with your jobs, but so many friends and people going on in the community, like they just don't have that. So it's nice to have that implemented just from the get-go.
Absolutely.
I said, buddy, I'm going to kick your ass all over the parking lot. Show me what's in your bag. And I did. I couldn't help myself.
NDP leader Marit Stiles is accusing Doug Ford of playing Batman after he confronted an alleged Home Depot shoplifter. The Ontario Premier says the incident occurred as he was buying plants for his Muskoka cottage ahead of a visit from Prime Minister Mark Carney. Why don't we check in right now with Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush. So, Bill, do you agree with Marit Stiles there? You think he's playing Batman?
How out of touch do you have to be, our NDP leader? How out of it do you have to be to think that that's going to be an insult? That people are going to say, yeah, that Doug Ford is acting like Batman. First of all, how many people are taking him literally? Actually think that he was going to go back and hang around Home Depot in the Muskoka area for the rest of his life, waiting for that guy to come back just so he can give him a beating? Does anyone really think he's going to do that? No, I think you hear that story. We all grew up with Batman. We understand that he was a vigilante in the darkness of night, and he was out there taking the law into his own hands. And of course you can't do that. People deserve a day in court. We get that. So stop taking it so literally. It's Batman, and it's Doug Ford making a point on behalf of all of us about the frustration we feel. You see, Batman was necessary in Gotham because the society had broken down. Authorities weren't doing their job. The police weren't doing their job. The justice system wasn't doing their job. Batman was necessary. And we look at our own streets across the province and we think it's not Gotham, but things are not like they used to be. There is too much homelessness. There's too much petty crime. There's too much graffiti. We look at all of that and we hear stories about people stealing from the LCBO, and the employees are told, even the security people, don't try to stop them. People steal from the LCBO, they get arrested, they get released, they steal again. People are frustrated, and the Premier is acting like the guy we all hope we could be, and that is someone who steps up and says, no, it's enough. So yes, of course, we shouldn't take the law into our own hands. We can't have the premier beating people up. But what he did was he expressed on behalf of many people that things are out of control. Even the prime minister today, 11 o'clock, is having a press conference. The federal government, the Liberal government, understands that it has to get tougher on crime. We're going to get an announcement about that today. Doug Ford is out ahead of it, saying he's already tough on crime. So, I think if you really believe you can hurt his popularity by calling him Batman, get a better insult.
I got to get tough on you. We got to go, Bill, you superhero of the radio. Thank you very much, Bill.
Thank you, Robin.
And remember, hey, no, I'm Batman. You can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. Coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, we hear from the United Way about a troubling survey looking at the impact of financial stress on Canadians. We're taking your comments on this today as well. That's coming up in just a moment.
Everybody, coming up a little bit later on in the show, we are going to hear from the United Way about a troubling survey on Canadians and money stress. So today in Your Morning Ottawa, we are asking for your comments on financial anxiety. What is your biggest financial worry? Let us know your thoughts. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. And I feel like this topic has a lot of different avenues that we could explore.
Absolutely. I think times are tough and the cost of living just keeps on going up, and things that never used to be expensive are super expensive, like groceries. The car payments have gone up, insurance has gone up, mortgages have gone up, everything goes up, paychecks stay the same. So I think just balancing that. I know our biggest stress is always around this time of the year when we go from 2 salaries down to 1 for a few months in the off season of football, because football is paid in the 6 months interim. So there's 6 months that we only have, one stable check coming in. So it gets a little stressful, and it's always around Christmas, which is, in a very inexpensive time. So budgeting is our biggest friend, and thankfully we've learned how to budget properly to help us out.
We appreciate your honesty there, Melissa. We're going to be hearing from you later in the show. We're asking, what is your biggest financial worry? Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca.
And coming up next hour, we will hear more from United Way about the results of their survey on financial anxiety, and that's just after the 7 o'clock news.
Good morning. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb. Much cooler start to your morning, too. I'm sure you felt the cooler air when you walk outside. We're almost hovering around 0, so that's how cool it is out there this morning.
Yeah, when we first get up, it wasn't as bad. But then as we got to like 5, and actually when we went back outside, it was a lot colder than at 3 this morning.
And then even live on air, we were sitting at 2, and it just fluctuated, and it's like, nope, we're sitting at 1 now. Like, it's wild how much cooler it is outside right now.
I love this layer season.
Yes.
Cool in the mornings and then comfortable into the afternoon.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll see how long that's going to last. We'll get right to our news headlines as some Ottawa parents came face to face with the supervisor overseeing the city's largest school board for the first time last night. Some people have raised concerns about a lack of accountability and transparency since the province appointed Robert Plamondon and stripped Ottawa Carleton District School Board trustees of their power. One of his first moves as a school board supervisor was canceling the controversial elementary program review last week. During last night's meeting, Plamondon responded to questions from committee members highlighting his main priorities: student success and well-being, and engagement of staff in responsible management of finances. But OCDSB school trustee Donna Blackburn says she spoke with Plamondon only once and says the supervisor is not listening to parents.
I thought it was very interesting. I thought, the supervisor gave a good political speech. He said things that people in the room wanted to hear, but I don't see the rubber hitting the road anytime soon.
Normally, members of the public and media would be able to watch these meetings online, but the province ordered an end to the live streams.
In developing news, a child has died in hospital after being hit by a dump truck in Overbrook. It happened yesterday afternoon on Presslin Road near Lola Street in Overbrook. Paramedics say the child was under 10 years old. Life-saving measures were performed on scene by responding officers before the child was rushed to hospital with critical injuries, where they later died. No other details have been provided.
Police are investigating an overnight shooting in Centertown that left a man with life-threatening injuries. Officers were called to a house on Somerset Street West near Kent Street around 1:35 a.m. yesterday. A man was found at the scene with gunshot wounds, and he was brought to hospital in critical condition. Investigators were at the scene for much of the day, combing the area for evidence. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Guns and Gangs unit.
Another labor dispute is threatening to disrupt transit services in Gatineau.
Now we just need to agree on the terms. Is it exactly what they asked for? But it's collective bargaining, so that's why we need to bargain around it.
Around 50 unionized supervisors are set to walk off the job Monday if a new contract is not reached by then. The STO says wages and job security are some of the main sticking points. If workers do go on strike, bus service will grind to a halt across Gatineau, which is worrying news for many commuters.
I need my STO bus pass in order to get to the doctor, to get my groceries, you name it, all my appointments. And now what am I going to do? I'm not rich.
And I mean, I don't have money to take an Uber every day or go place to place. Like that would honestly really affect me.
The union representing the workers say the STO supervisors have been without a contract since 2023.
A major development in the labor dispute impacting colleges across the province. The two sides reaching a deal officially putting an end towards the strike. More than 10,000 support staff walked off the job more than a month ago. The union confirming those picket lines came down yesterday and employees will return to work today. The details of the tentative agreement were shared with members but have not been made public. Union members will be voting on the deal in the coming weeks.
A city committee voted to keep the proposed two in development despite vocal opposition. Developer Taggart and the Algonquins of Ontario want to build homes on 445 acres in the rural southeast end. The Algonquin Anishinaabe First Nation Tribal Council opposes Tuin. However, the Algonquins of Ontario support the project, but they are not recognized by the federal government.
When the table is set and Algonquins of Ontario are there, that is not a table that the legitimate communities are going to be a part of.
Like to say that the AOO are not like a, I guess, a rights-bearing Algonquin entity is, in my opinion, totally wrong.
There are also concerns over lack of transit, the cost of infrastructure, and if taxpayers will be on the hook.
The Toronto Blue Jays swing their way to a Game 3 win in the ALCS after the Jays lost the first two games of the series at home.
They swept the next game to sweep the series.
Kirk hits one to the opposite field. It's hit well. It is gone.
Captain Kirk up to the plate, and that one was out of there. A three-run dinger for Alejandro Kirk puts this one out of reach. It was one of the Jays' 5 home runs in the night. Toronto takes Game 3 13-4 to cut Seattle's series lead in half. The Mariners now lead the ALCS 2-1, and game number 4 goes tonight.
And your morning just got a whole lot richer, and that's because we are giving away that $20K, and it is time for your daily code word.
Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand, a dream vacation, home renovations, paying off bills. The possibilities are endless.
Full playoff seasons to the Jays games, whatever you want. Today's code word is, it's very fitting, vacation. So head to the contest page at ctvottawa.ca or scan that QR code on the right side of your screen. Enter the code word vacation along with your information for a chance to win CTV Your Morning Ottawa's $20,000 giveaway. Make sure to tune in as well tomorrow. We will have a brand new code word for you. Good luck to everybody.
And with the cooler temperatures this morning, people might be thinking of a vacation.
I think so, too.
An away vacation.
It's amazing how immediate that thought goes in, right? Because last week it's like almost reaching 30 degrees, not even thinking about it. Even yesterday afternoon was beautiful. beautiful.
Yeah.
And then this morning it goes, ooh, all right, got to start thinking about going somewhere
It's
warm.
like when you have this little frigid air that comes through in the mornings, you're like, ooh, winter tires. Ooh, gotta
Oh,
get my
gosh,
garage
yeah.
ready for my car.
Yes.
Ooh, there's all these like winter things that start popping into your head. So
And also, Melissa, ooh, I have to start wrestling with the kids to put on their snowsuit, and then we have to find the mittens, and then they
Yes,
lose them.
all the things, the boots, the mittens, the scarf. Yes, we are getting ready for winter. Thankfully, it's not here just yet. And you know what? This weekend, above seasonal temperatures. Clear and cool to start off your morning, sunny into the afternoon. And yes, the weekend is looking actually quite warm. We're still going to see some above seasonal conditions. Currently sitting at 1 degree, so it is quite cool. If you are just waking up and heading outside, you'll definitely need a jacket out there this morning. Northwest winds gusting 20 up to 40 kilometers an hour, so slightly windier into your afternoon today as well. Current temperatures very similar to what we're dealing with here in Ottawa. It's cool across the region, single digits for Trenton, Kingston, -4 now over in Brockville, so that's our coldest spot in our viewing region this morning. In our skies, it is nice and clear, so we're seeing clear conditions if you are just waking up. Lots of sunshine throughout your morning and in through your afternoon as well, so the commute, nothing to report. Things should be great on the roads in terms of conditions. Clear skies this morning, some sunshine on your drive home later on today. Temperatures reaching a daytime high of 13 degrees this afternoon, so that's average. Normal is around 12.6 degrees, so we're right on average for this time of the year. A beautiful fall day in the forecast because it's going to be sunny. Temperatures really ranging from the region from 15 down in Trenton, Kingston. 10 degrees is only the daytime high in Tremblant, so a little bit cooler in Mont-Tremblant for today. But in the 7-day forecast, you'll notice the temperatures warm up as we head into the weekend. 13 for tomorrow, so a couple of sunny days today into tomorrow. It's overnight tonight, dropping down to -1 below that freezing mark. So cold this morning, cold tomorrow morning, but then not so bad into the weekend. 16 for Saturday, 20 is the high on Sunday, so above seasonal temperatures. It is looking a little wet from Saturday right through into next week. There is a chance of those scattered showers. However, your overnight lows not nearly as cold heading Friday overnight and through next week.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
And here's a look at your drive-in right now at the split into downtown. It's still moving well. We aren't seeing any major issues on your roads this morning. The good news is we are collision-free. Traffic slowly starting to build right now, 416, 417, and 174, especially if you are heading eastbound.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, new details coming today about the number of police-reported hate crimes in Canada. We'll hear more about what's happened so far and what we can expect from that report coming up a little bit later on in our show. Here's a look through our sky cam and temperatures. Oh, they're feeling cool this morning. It is brisk, really hovering just above that freezing mark. Starting to feel the cooler temperatures, but still a pretty nice afternoon. Stay with us. Much more to come. It is 6:40 on your Thursday. Welcome back, everybody. Here are the big stories that we're following today on Your Morning Ottawa. A child has died in hospital after being hit by a dump truck in Overbrook. Police are investigating an overnight shooting in Centertown that left a man with life-threatening injuries. And support staff at Ontario colleges have reached a tentative agreement ending the month-long strike. We'll take a look at what our weather day has in store, Melissa.
Cold start to your morning. Temps right now sitting at 1 degree to start off your day, but sunshine and beautiful into the afternoon. Some gorgeous fall conditions on the way today and to tomorrow. We will reach highs of 13 degrees, lots of sunshine. Then on Saturday, looking a little bit wet. There is a chance we could see a few scattered showers early in the morning. On your roads this morning, volume still building, heading eastbound on the 417. You'll see those slowdowns Richmond Pinecrest past Woodruff this hour. If you are heading on the opposite direction, westbound on the 417, it's nice and easy at the split, picks up slightly past Saint Laurent.
Statistics Canada is set to release a report today looking at the rates of reported hate crimes. Let's bring in Scott Hurst from CTV News with more on this. Good morning to you, Scott.
Good morning, Will.
So we're just a couple of hours away from actually officially receiving that outlook. But even before that, we've seen many reports of incidents across the country, specifically targeting religious institutions. Can you talk to us a little bit more about the impact and response?
Well, over the past several years, Canada has seen a steady surge in hate crimes in communities from coast to coast, notably in Ontario, British Columbia, and Quebec, and notably a troubling surge in anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, leaving too many people in this country feeling unsafe. Also with notable events, significant events around the world targeting groups for their race or ethnicity, putting many Canadian communities on high alert, as well as police departments around the country trying to combat acts of violence, vandalism, and intimidation, largely due to attacks on Jews and Muslims here in Canada and elsewhere. While StatsCan numbers show, preliminary numbers show a drop in overall reported hate crimes from the first few months of this year to specifically the first quarter last year, there's been a steady surge in Canada over a number of years now. Reported incidents have more than doubled since before 2020. Overall, the number of police-reported hate crimes has increased for 6 years in a row. And now the federal government, under pressure to stem the rising tide of hate, introducing new legislation. The Combating Hate Act proposes 4 new criminal offenses, including making it a crime to obstruct or intimidate people trying to access places of worship, making hate-motivated crime a specific offense as well. Sadly, Will, these incidents of hate against entire communities have shaken too many people and left these communities on edge here in Canada. And as I mentioned, really a troubling rise in many parts of the around the world as well.
Yeah, certainly some concerning numbers there. And Scott, is that what you anticipate when the report is officially released, that we would see data that suggests what you're talking about now, more than doubling since 2022 with reports like this?
That's the overall rise we've seen over many years now, this troubling rise, part of the reason why the federal government plans to introduce this new legislation. And in a couple hours, when these new numbers come out, it should provide more clarity as to where we stand specifically for this year and whether it will continue to show that trend over the past several years that we have seen this doubling, a significant number of hate crimes targeting communities in this country over the past 5 years.
Yeah, report released in a couple of hours. Appreciate your time as always. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Will.
Today on Your Morning Ottawa, we asked, what is your biggest financial worry? And here's what some of you had to say. Elaine says, I don't get financially anxious. I keep a very close tab on what I spend and what I keep in my checking account. I am vigilant about my spending. Okay, Elaine, you're on top of things.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah.
Rebecca says, as a student living on my own, my financial worry is paying for basically everything. I'm a postgraduate student and I have to work 3 part-time jobs in addition to being a teaching assistant to keep up with living expenses like rent, groceries, and tenant insurance. And this is what we're talking about. One person trying to live just within their means, having to have 3 part-time jobs but still succeed in their life, so it can be a really troubling time.
Absolutely. Rebecca, keep up with it. Hang in there.
Dina says, my biggest financial worry is getting laid off and not being able to afford to keep my house. It's scary knowing that it can happen anytime, and I don't have a cushion saved up. It is tough. That's the problem, is it's hard to live day to day, let alone be thinking of where I can be saving when you're barely making ends meet month to month. And then you're thinking, how can I save a little bit more in case something happens? That's what's really tough right now.
That is really tough. And Dina, you know, you're saying that your biggest financial worry is getting laid off and not being able to pay for the house, and you don't have anything saved up. Well, the biggest problem there is inertia, inaction. You can start today, even $1. Just try, you know, starting to build up. I mean, I'm not a financial expert, but this is something that you can do just to make yourself feel good, is to start today to build that little bit of cushion, even with $1. I know what you're feeling, and it's really tough out there. And thank you so much for being so honest, everybody, and chiming in. We're going to be hearing from you later on in the show, and that's the question we're asking. What is your biggest financial worry? Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca.
And coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, it's Your Morning Fix. And we are including a new look for our Supreme Court of Canada justices and the Quebec designer behind them. Here's a live look from our Skycam on George Street this morning. It's still a little dark out there, and yes, it is a cool start to your morning, sitting at only 1 degree to start off your Thursday. It is time for your morning fix, and we're starting with a new look for Canadian Supreme Court justices. The court is marking its 150th anniversary this year, and to celebrate, it's overhauled the justices' robes. The justices have gone from the old red and white robes known as the Santa robes to these new black and red ones. The new robes were designed and made by Romain Legalou in Chicoutimi, Quebec. Aren't they stunning?
Sharp.
Right? Like
whoa.
Very modern and sophisticated. And I think when you see the comparison, I'm like, oh. And I love that they went with like a great local designer in Quebec.
Makes a big difference in that power position too, to have something like that you immediately go, whoa, and you respect.
From Santa robes to something chic and classic. Well, for the past month, move stations across the country have been giving away $20,000 a week to one lucky listener, and another Ottawa resident just won the grand prize.
Sarah Wilson, you entered keywords, and it led to...
Wow,
$20,000!
Sarah Wilson is this week's winner of Move's Dream Big contest. Move's 100, Sophie and Jeff presenting the $20,000 check to the mom of two yesterday morning. And Move 100 is giving away keywords every single weekday from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. The grand prize is $20,000, and there is a daily bonus prize of $1,000. And the contest ends this Friday, so getting quick. So exciting. A mama too, so well deserved.
Oh, Sarah, congratulations.
Yeah.
I have to check in to see what she does with that money.
Right,
Probably
how are you
also
going
the
to
kiddos.
spend it? Probably.
Yeah.
Well, fashion models weren't the only ones to hit the runway during the 2025 Victoria's Secret fashion show in New York City. Several athletes took part in the show, including Olympic gold medalist Suni Lee and WNBA star Angel Reese. Reese told USA Today that she put in a lot of work to prep for the show, including working with a walking coach. Meanwhile, Lee said she didn't do much to prepare so that she could walk the runway as her normal self.
Oh, I love that.
Right?
The authenticity walk. You know, if you're trying to be something, she just, boom, I'm just going to be myself and strut the way that I strut.
Yeah, and I love it, bringing in the athletes into this
absolutely
wonderful spectacle. Good on them. Nice.
I love how Victoria's Secret is becoming more inclusive, you know? Like, I think back in the day, there was one person that you saw on that runway, and now you're seeing all different shapes and sizes, and it's just so great to see.
Really nice. And Angel Reese getting her wings.
Right.
Hello. All right, so coming up in the next hour, our wedding week continues. We give you a preview of this weekend's Capital Wedding Show, where you can find everything you need in one place. The Toronto Blue Jays needed a big win in Game 3 of the ALCS. CTV News reporter Sean Leathong breaks down the Jays' 13-4 win over the Mariners. The Ottawa Cancer Foundation is celebrating 30 years of care and impact with this year's Aurora Ball. We shine a light on the powerful partnership. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It is 6:56. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back.
Dream big with Move 100. Now, dream $20,000 bigger. Starting next week, listen for your chance to win $20,000. Dream big, win bigger with Ottawa's Move 100.
It's Thursday, October 16th. Tragedy on Ottawa's roads. A child struck by a dump truck dies in hospital.
They swept the next game to sweep the series.
Kirk hits one to the opposite field. It's hit well. It is gone.
A beautiful sight. The Toronto Blue Jays back in the series. They swing their way to their first win of the ALCS.
And a new study on how financial stress is impacting Canadians. We break down all the details. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Good morning. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb, and it is much cooler Thursday in the forecast for us as well. It'll be nice this afternoon, but this morning, definitely need a jacket.
Okay, layer up.
That's right.
And it was getting cooler and cooler as it kept creeping on. It's always coolest kind of between that 5 and
Yes.
6:30 window this time of year.
And then it'll start to warm up around 8 o'clock. But until then, it's chilly.
Until then, so keep the kiddos warm this morning. Right to our news headlines. Some Ottawa parents came face to face with the supervisor overseeing the city's largest school board for the first time last night. Some people have raised concerns about a lack of accountability and transparency since the province appointed Robert Plamondon and stripped Ottawa Carleton District School Board trustees of their power. One of his first moves as a school board supervisor was canceling the controversial elementary program review last week. During last night's meeting, Plamondon responded to questions from committee members highlighting his main priorities, which are student success and well-being, and engagement of staff, and responsible management of finances. But OCDSB school trustee Donna Blackburn says she spoke with Plamondon only once and says the supervisor is not listening to parents.
I thought it was very interesting. I thought, the supervisor gave a good political speech. He said things that people in the room wanted to hear, but I don't see the rubber hitting the road anytime soon.
And normally members of the public and media would be able to watch these meetings online, but the province ordered an end towards the live streams.
In developing news, a child has died in hospital after being hit by a dump truck in Overbrook. It happened yesterday afternoon on Presslin Road near Lola Street in Overbrook. Paramedics say the child was under 10 years old. Life-saving measures were performed on scene by responding officers before the child was rushed to hospital with critical injuries, where they later died. No other details have been provided.
Police are investigating an overnight shooting in Centertown that left a man with life-threatening injuries. Officers were called to a house on Somerset Street West near Kent Street around 1:35 a.m. yesterday. A man was found at the scene with gunshot wounds, and he was brought to hospital in critical condition. Investigators were on the scene for much of the day, combing through the area for any evidence. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Guns and Gangs unit.
Another labor dispute is threatening to disrupt transit services in Gatineau.
Now we just need to agree on the terms. Is it exactly what they asked for? But it's collective bargaining, so that's why we need to bargain around it.
Around 50 unionized supervisors are set to walk off the job Monday if a new contract is not reached by then. The STO says wages and job security are some of the main sticking points. If workers do go on strike, bus service will grind to a halt across Gatineau, which is worrying news for many commuters.
I need my STO bus pass in order to get to the doctor, to get my groceries, you name it, all my appointments. And now what am I going to do? I'm not rich.
And I mean, I don't have money to take an Uber every day or go place to place. Like, that would honestly really affect me.
The union representing the workers say the STO supervisors have been without a contract since 2023.
A major development in the labor dispute impacted colleges across the province. The two sides reaching a deal, officially putting an end to the strike. More than 10,000 support staff walked off the job more than a month ago. The union confirming those picket lines came down yesterday and employees will return to work today. The details of the tentative agreement were shared with members but have not been made public. Union members will be voting on the deal in the coming weeks.
A city committee voted to keep the proposed two in development despite vocal opposition. Developer Taggart and the Algonquins of Ontario want to build homes on 445 hectares in the rural southeast end. The Algonquin and Anishinaabe First Nation Tribunal Council opposes Tuin. However, the Algonquins of Ontario support the project, but they are not recognized by the federal government.
When the table is set and Algonquins of Ontario are there, that is not a table that the legitimate communities are going to be a part of.
Like to say that the AOO are not a rights-bearing Algonquin entity is, in my opinion, totally wrong.
There are also concerns over lack of transit, the cost of infrastructure, and if taxpayers will be on the hook.
The Toronto Blue Jays swing their way to a Game 3 win in the ALCS after the Jays lost the first two games of the series at home.
They swept the next game to sweep the series.
Kirk hits one to the opposite field. It's hit well. It is gone.
That's what fans wanted to see. Captain Kirk up to the plate, and that one was out of there. A 3-run dinger for Alejandro Kirk puts this one out of reach. It was one of the Jays' 5 home runs on the evening. Toronto takes Game 3, 13-4 to cut Seattle's series lead in half. The Mariners now lead the ALCS 2-1, but Game 4 goes tonight.
And the Ottawa Senators are also looking to get back into the win column in Buffalo after a couple of sluggish games.
Again, as Nick Cousins goes after it, he's on it. Cousins alone in front. Lars Eller scores. Hold on to your hats. 2:15 into the third. Ottawa's within 1.
Unfortunately, Ottawa made it close at one point. Lars Eller with his first of the season, but ultimately the Sabres would run away with this one. 8-4 is the final score. That is also Buffalo's first win of the season.
The Sens fall 1-3 to start the season. They play again tonight against the Seattle Kraken at the Canadian Tire Center. Puck drop is at 7.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, losing Brady Tkachuk for a month and then having an 8-4, you could call it a somewhat blowout. It was close for a period of time, but that's not what you want to see, 8 goals against.
And unfortunate because it started off so strong with that, winning their season opener, and then it just kind of has gone down. But lots of time to regain some momentum.
Only a couple games in.
That's right. And we do have your weather picture of the day. Look at this. This was sent to us in from Corinne on Thanksgiving weekend at Roddick Lake in Quebec. Absolutely beautiful picture. Thank you, Corinne, for sending that in.
Weather picture brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating. Just box me up.
And of course, we want to hear from you as well. We would love to see your weather shots, just like Kevin. All you have to do is send them to us, weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, that email address is weathershots@ctv.ca. And in your forecast this morning, a cool start to your day. Temperatures this morning, very, very chilly. We're already sitting at 1 degree. 13 is the high, so a little bit above average. It's pretty normal for this time of the year to be sitting around 12, 13 degrees. Won't break a record today, and the sun should be up very shortly at around 7:20 a.m. So temperatures this morning, chilly across the region, -4 still in Brockville, even Kingston sitting at 2 degrees, 3 degrees down in Trenton. Ottawa right now seeing clear skies to start off your morning. So at least it's nice and clear to start off your day into the afternoon. That means lots of sunshine. Highs of 13 today. Similar temperatures across the region. 15 degrees down in Kingston, Trenton. 13 for Kemptville. Same out in the valley today. So very similar temperatures throughout the region. East, west, north, south. 13 as well for Petawawa. Kittaginzibi sitting at 13, and 10 is your daytime high over Mont Tremblant. For kids heading out to school this morning, temperatures fluctuating a little bit. We're sitting at 1 degree, 2 degrees. So we're fluctuating to start off your morning, but it is cool. Mainly sunny skies, so at least we're going to see that sunshine early this morning, but again, temperatures quite cool to start off your day. Over the next couple of days, it will warm up. 13 is also the high for tomorrow. The overnight low still cold tonight, dropping to -1. 4 is the overnight low tomorrow, so it will warm up gradually as we head into Friday and in through the weekend. Warm, mild weather on the way. We're going to see temperatures above seasonal. 16 and 20 are your daytime highs. Chance of some scattered showers from Saturday, which will continue right through until next week.
7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating 80 years in family business.
All right, now that you've got your weather forecast, we do have some updates for you on your roads this morning. We have a collision on the 417 eastbound after March Road in Eagleson Road in the left lane. There is also moderate traffic on the 417 westbound between Vanier Parkway and Metcalfe. Catherine. There is also moderate traffic on the 174 westbound between Place d'Orleans and Montreal Road. Champlain Bridge is seeing moderate to heavy traffic as well. We are creeping up to about 7:10, so we're seeing those delays kick into this morning. So just drive carefully. Maybe a little bit of fog patches out there as well. And again, continue to bundle up. Melissa.
Well, an alarming new survey has found nearly half of Canadians can't afford to cover even a month's worth of living expenses if their income was lost. The survey by the United Way found 55% of Canadians say they are anxious about personal finances. 41% of Canadians surveyed say they experience physical stress symptoms when they talk about money. Joining me now is Denise Taylor-Gillen. She is the interim president and CEO of the United Way Eastern Ontario. Good morning to you.
Oh, good morning, Melissa.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about these these findings. Obviously, kind of troubling to hear these numbers and these financial worries that people are facing.
Oh, absolutely. There's a reason that United Way did the survey. We had been hearing about the affordability crisis for some time. We've been working with our agency partners across Canada. They've been telling us there is a greater need. There continued to be a greater need over the past 3 years. So the survey really helped to articulate and helped us understand what it actually meant.
Okay, let's talk about some of those findings in terms of financial pressure and what we're seeing here regionally in Canada.
Yeah, so locally, it's certainly an issue. We are seeing a greater need for the food bank, for example. We've been hearing about that. We also understand that people are having great concerns about their financial situation. It's affecting their sleep. It's affecting their ability to concentrate at work and at school, and that's a concern about future. And of course, increased conflict. And we're seeing that in the services that we're funding in our community.
And so what are we really seeing that is playing into these financial concerns?
Yeah, it's certainly related to the increase in inflation. The cost of food has gone up significantly. We all know that. I mean, Thanksgiving was last weekend, and many of us would have seen that at the grocery store. But also, certainly the issue of affordable housing. Housing is now taking up a great amount of people's budgets, things like utilities and transportation.
And living in a government town, obviously, we're learning about cuts coming to the government. How is this impacting people in terms of their struggling day to day, worrying that they could potentially lose their job, that they couldn't make it past a month?
Yeah, I think that certainly is adding to people's concerns. Something we're monitoring, have been for some time, and will certainly be monitoring moving forward. One of the things that we do at United Way is we use data. This research is a really good example, and we use information from services like 211, which is real-time data where people call in if they require supports and services, and we're able to use that data to help our planning and where funding and where supports are needed.
And where are some supports and services that are offered for people who may be struggling right now?
So I would go back to 211. If people are struggling, calling 211, they will receive support from a trained systems navigator. They'll provide information, referral to programs that they might need related to financial assistance, related to financial literacy, supports like for food banks, for example, or even utilities relief.
Okay, so you're able to kind of help them with so many different financial aspects that they could be struggling with.
Absolutely.
And where could they go for that information?
So it is a very simple number. It's 211.
211.
Right across Canada, and that service is available in both languages. And in many cases, 24 hours a day.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Rosie.
Thank you for that, Melissa. Coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, a moving mission. Why a local man is running 3 marathons in support of a local Heart Institute patient. You really want to hear this. Plus, the Capital Wedding Show is this weekend. We tell you more in just a few short moments. Our guest is standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. It's going to be another pretty good-looking day. A little bit cooler, though. It's 7:14 on your Thursday. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa.
Welcome back, everybody. Here are the big stories that we're following today on Your Morning Ottawa. A child has died in hospital after being hit by a dump truck in Overbrook. Police are investigating an overnight shooting in Centertown that left a man with life-threatening injuries. And support staff on Ontario colleges have reached a tentative agreement ending the month-long strike. Your full newscast is coming up. We're going to take a look at what the day has in store, because yesterday, Melissa, It was nice, but a little different today.
A beautiful afternoon. It's just the morning hours that it's a little bit cool outside. If you are just waking up, sitting at 1 degree, we will see that sunshine throughout your morning, warming things up to a high of 13, which is average for this time of the year. Overnight, though, we're dropping all the way down to -1. So cooler temperatures again tonight and early tomorrow morning. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic. And we did have an earlier morning collision, 417 eastbound at March Road, that has caused some significant delays this morning. Other than that, traffic is moving pretty well on your drive-in. Rosie.
Thank you, Melissa. Our wedding week continues here on Your Morning Ottawa. If you are getting married soon, you've probably got a very long to-do list. Okay, and you probably need people that you want to hire so you can get it all done. Well, you can find all of it at the Capital Wedding Show, and Lara Naim from Quality Entertainment is here to tell us more this morning. She's one of the exhibitors at this year's Capital Wedding Show. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so tell us about the show that's happening, right? The Ottawa Capital Wedding Show. When's it happening? And what can the bride to be, the wedding party, what can people expect at the show?
Of course. So it's happening this Sunday, October 19th.
Okay.
And you can really expect everything wedding vendors, everything from your desserts, entertainment, decor, venues, everything. Just a great place to get started on your planning, and a spot just like an all-in-one. Just instead of doing all the research online, you just get to go to one spot and it's all there for you.
Oh, wow. I'm seeing some footage there. You can even sample hair, get your hair done and see the hairstylists out there and who'd be available for that big day.
Absolutely, and that's part of the fun, is a hands-on approach, as well as a fashion show that they do to showcase all of the wedding dresses. And it's a lot of fun to be there. You get to meet your vendors, experience a little bit, like you said, the hair, the makeup, a little bit of everything.
Okay, so tell us about your company, Quality Entertainment Ottawa. What kind of services do you offer?
Absolutely. So Quality Entertainment, we are weddings and events. We do DJs, live music, photo booths, a little bit in the AV as well. For weddings specifically, our most common is always going to be a DJ. So couples will hire us, and they'll fill out portals with music, and we pair them with a really awesome DJ that is specific to them. And same with the photo booths. We've got our social booths, our 360s, which are videos and classics.
Oh, that's so much fun.
So much fun.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, Lara, you're going to be there at the wedding show this week as well, this weekend.
Yes,
right?
I am. Yeah.
There's also some great prizes that they're going to be giving away there at the event?
Yes, there are. It's part of the fun as well. There is a trip to Montreal, and when you're wedding planning, who doesn't want a little vacation break? I definitely do, and I'm not planning a wedding. There is, I believe, the first 100 brides that come in get a pair of earrings, a photo booth, and some dessert as well.
Okay, how many first 100 get a
First 100 brides.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Duly noted there. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Lara, thank you so much for coming by here. Have a great time this weekend at the Capital Wedding Show. I know you've got a booth there, so you can look out for her there. That is on Sunday, and if you want any more information, you can see that information on our screen there. Lara, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Will, over to you.
Well, I had the opportunity to speak with two amazing people in our community. One woman with a diagnosis that was completely unexpected from a normal routine checkup, having a hole in her heart, and then another member seeing that story and jumping in right away to see what he could do to help. Have a look. From Heart to Finish is a wonderful campaign, and it's arrived with two people here. We got Billy and Zachary. They've combined for an amazing cause, and we'll get to Zachary and his absolute amazing performances that he can do in the future. But Billy, I want to talk about your story because it really is fascinating, and what you're doing here is going to help people in a future problem. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey?
Yeah, so I'm 28 years old, have always lived a healthy life, no problems. In October 2024, I was doing some tests for a lump in my neck and night sweats. That came back okay, and we discovered some issues with my heart that I never knew about. So it turns out I was born with a 2.5 centimeter hole in my heart. Because we never knew about that and it was never dealt with, it led to some other problems like mitral valve leaks and etc. So I actually had major heart surgery this past July at the Jewish General Hospital in Montreal. And yeah, it was a horrible experience, but I got through it.
And now you've combined with the Ottawa Heart Institute. You've just done something with them over the past year, and you were doing the jump in and you raised some money. But now you've got a little bit of a different spin on it, and you've combined with Zachary here. But you're also going to be partaking in a run yourself, which is amazing compared to what you've done previously.
Yeah, so in September, I raised money for Jump In for women's heart health through the Ottawa Heart Institute Foundation. I had actually done it in the past without even knowing I had any heart issues. So when I saw that it was time for it, I said to my partners, Mom, let's do it together again. We have to raise money for this. And yeah, I ended up raising over $5,400. And I was posting it on my Instagram, on my Facebook. Zach saw what I was posting and he said, I want to help you raise money. I'm running marathons. Let's do this. Let's, raise money for the Heart Institute Foundation.
Yeah, talk about jumping in, literally, Zachary. I think it's so amazing because you saw Billy's story and you go, what can I do to help? And then you guys collectively came up with this idea. So tell us a little bit about all the marathons that you've already ran and are going to run and about why you jumped in to help this.
Yeah, well, when I saw Billy's post, it was natural for me to want to help. And as we discussed it a little bit more, it made more sense to kind of create a new campaign together. I actually was a really heavy smoker before. I quit about 2 years ago, and part of the success was I took the quit smoking program at the University of Ottawa Heart Institute. So that really helped me kind of change my path in life. And a couple months later, I ran my first marathon. So seeing that, that institute also touched Billy's life in a way was really interesting to me, and I just decided it would be a great way to join forces. So I'm actually running 3 marathons this year. I just finished the Quebec City Marathon this Sunday, 2 days ago. My legs are very sore. I got the Toronto Waterfront in 11 days, and then the last one in Honolulu before the end of the year. So rather than just running them straight for ego, I decided that we should probably donate some of the attention to charity. So that's what we're doing. We're joining forces, and it's been about 3 weeks since we've launched the campaign. We've already raised about $2,500. So we're hoping to get more corporate sponsors, to get more people to get involved. I host a run club every Sunday in Hull, so everyone's really excited to be involved in that as well. So we're using all our platforms to kind of get as much attention to this cause as possible.
Yeah, and you talked about going through the program yourself and the money, and you came from that program, from the Ottawa Heart Institute. Can you talk about how beneficial that was and how this money goes to such a great cause?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the programming I found really helped. It really helped. It's like, when you're doing something and you realize that other people are going through the same problem, and there's people that are experiencing it in a much harder way than you are, and there's people that are dealing with it in a much easier way than you are, and you realize that you're kind of just in the middle of this community that's working through something, right? It's the same thing like when you join a run club and you realize that there's people that are faster than you or slower than you. There's different people along different levels along the path. So working through my nicotine addiction with other people was really helpful, I found. And having the expertise, the resources, certainly led to the success, so I could finally kick smoking.
Yeah, it's so amazing. Thank you, Billy, for sharing your story. And if people are looking to get involved and tag along as you continue with these marathons and your runs, how can they get involved?
Well, you can follow the link. We'll share. You can follow me on social media at Liberty Fit on Instagram. That's where I share all of our training, as well as you'll find the link in my bio there to donate.
Amazing. Well, good luck, guys. Good luck on the rest of your marathons. And Billy, again, thank you so much for sharing your story. Two amazing people. Well, coming up, getting down with downsizing. If you are looking for a smaller space, we've got Taylor Bennett for the Bennett Properties Shop, and he's got some tips coming up next. He is nice and cozy in our CTV Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge, the blue on blue. Looking good, Taylor. Taking a peek at our Skycam on George Street, and a little chilly out there for now, reaching the low teens this afternoon, but still feeling rather comfortable in a few hours. Stay with us. It is 7:27 on your Thursday.
Morning. I'm Rosie Edbeck.
Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb, and I can't wait to get an update on the Jays. Of course, exciting big win for them last night. Great news for Jays that they're not down 3-0. It's now, not tied the series, but getting close.
You're going to be checking in with CTV Sean Leathon,
That's
right?
right,
Because
at
he's
some
there, and he'll let us know what the team is looking forward to for the next game today.
And by the looks of it, it looks like there was a pretty good Jays turnout in Seattle as well, which is kind of exciting. So I love that Western Jays fans went down for that game.
Nice.
And massive swings in the games when huge blowouts to huge losses. So we'll have to wait for Game 4 tonight. Let's get right to our news headlines. Some Ottawa parents came face-to-face with the supervisor overseeing the city's largest school board for the first time last night. Some people have raised concerns about a lack of accountability and transparency since the province appointed Robert Plamondon and stripped Ottawa Carleton District School Board trustees of their power. One of his first moves as the school board supervisor was canceling the controversial elementary program review last week. During last night's meeting, Plamondon responded to questions from committee members, highlighting his main priorities: student success and well-being, and engagement of staff in responsible management of finances. But OCDSB school trustee Donna Blackburn says she spoke with Plamondon only once and says the supervisor is not listening to parents.
I thought it was very interesting. I thought, the supervisor gave a good political speech. He said things that people in the room wanted to hear, but I don't see the rubber hitting the road anytime soon.
And normally members of the public and media would be able to watch these meetings online, but the province ordered an end to the live streams.
In developing news, a child has died in hospital after being hit by a dump truck in Overbrook. It happened yesterday afternoon on Presslin Road near Lola Street in Overbrook. Paramedics say the child was under 10 years old. Life-saving measures were performed on scene by responding officers before the child was rushed to hospital with critical injuries, where they later died. No other details have been provided.
Police are investigating an overnight shooting in Centertown that left a man with life-threatening injuries. Officers were called to a house on Somerset Street West near Kent Street around 1:35 a.m. yesterday. A man was found at the scene with gunshot wounds, and he was brought to hospital in critical condition. Investigators were at the scene for much of the day, combing the area for any evidence. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Guns and Gangs unit. A major development in the labor dispute impacting colleges across the province. The two sides reaching a deal, officially putting an end to the strike. More than 10,000 support staff walked off the job more than a month ago. The union confirming those picket lines came down yesterday, and employees will return to work today. The details of the tentative agreement were shared with members but have not been made public. Union members will be voting on the deal in the coming weeks.
A city committee voted to keep the proposed two-wind development despite vocal opposition. Developer Taggart and the Algonquins of Ontario want to build homes on 445 hectares in the rural southeast end. The Algonquin Anishinaabe First Nation Tribal Council opposes two-wind. However, the Algonquins of Ontario support the project, but they are not recognized by the federal government.
When the table is set and Algonquins of Ontario are there, that is not a table that the legitimate communities are going to be a part of.
Like to say that the AOO are not a rights-bearing Algonquin entity is, in my opinion, totally wrong.
There are also concerns over lack of transit, the cost of infrastructure, and if taxpayers will be on the hook.
To sports now, the Toronto Blue Jays swing their way to a Game 3 win in the ALCS after the Jays lost those first two games at home.
They swept the next game to sweep the series.
Kirk hits one to the opposite field. It's hit well. It is gone.
As fans rejoice, Captain Kirk up to the plate, and that one was out of there. A 3-run dinger for Alejandro Kirk puts this one out of reach. It was one of the Jays' 5 home runs on the evening. Toronto takes Game 3 13-4 to cut the lead in half, and now they will have Game 4 approaching tonight.
Paleontologists have uncovered a set of dinosaur footprints in a British quarry.
We're the first people to see these, and also it's just a really great experience to work on something in the UK of this size and scale. It's so rare to find something this big where you can get that picture into this past world.
So cool. They span more than 200 meters and were spotted over the summer. Fossils have been found in this quarry before, including a variety of seashells and a sea urchin.
All of these finds are important to researchers as they give clues to where the dinosaurs were walking. They think this quarry was once a lagoon.
Oh, wild.
Imagine that.
And I imagine those footprints are massive, too.
Seeing them in person, too, the actual footprints would probably just be so overwhelming.
Oh, yeah.
They were massive.
Absolutely. Well, it is a cool start to your morning, but don't worry, it will warm up into your afternoon today. So clear skies and cool out there to start things off. Sunny today into your day ahead. A beautiful fall day in the forecast for us. Very warm into the weekend. We will see it again above seasonal temperatures into your weekend forecast. Sitting at 1 still here this morning in the city. It's 2 in Kingston, cooler in Brockville, still sitting at -4 this morning. Nice clear skies if you are just waking up, so hardly any clouds in sight this morning. We will see a few throughout the day ahead, but overall, lots of sunshine for your Thursday forecast. Highs of 13 today. That's very seasonal for this time of the year, and you can see very seasonal-like conditions throughout the region. 15 down in Kingston area. 10 degrees is your daytime high over in Mont-Tremblant. So for kids heading out to recess today, beautiful recess forecast. We will see that sunshine this morning right through into the late afternoon. Still a little cool in the single digits for your morning recess, but double-digit temps for your afternoon today. 13 will be the daytime high by 1 p.m. Over the next couple of days, you can see conditions will warm up, but tonight, cold, dropping to -1. 13 for tomorrow. Lots more sunshine on the way, so some beautiful fall days in the forecast. It is looking a little wet as we head into the weekend. Next week as well is also looking a little wet, but temperatures really warm Saturday in through Sunday. On your roads this morning, there is moderate to heavy traffic right now, 417 eastbound from Moody to Rochester. Also moderate traffic on the 417 westbound between the Split and Parkdale. Moderate traffic on the 174 westbound between Plaster Orleans and the Split.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
Oh, with those cooler temperatures arriving, maybe you're thinking about a getaway destination, and we might be able to help with that. Because your morning just got potentially a whole lot richer. We're continuing to give away that $20,000, and it's time for today's code word. Those overnight lows mean you can do whatever you want. You can travel for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe even come back, pay some bills, do some home renovations. Whatever you want to do, that $20,000 is yours to do with as you please. Today's code word is vacation. So head to the contest page at ctvottawa.ca, or you can scan that QR code on the right side of your screen. Enter the code word vacation along with your info for your chance to win CTV Your Morning Ottawa's $20,000 giveaway. Tune in tomorrow, though. We'll have a brand new code word for you. Good luck to all. And coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, the Jays are back in the series. They get our first win in the ALCS last night. We're going to check in with CTV's Sean Leathon in just a few minutes as we tee up game number 4. Taking a peek outside, don't let that sunshine fool you. Our Centennial Glass Skycam showing the brightness, but it's not showing the cool temperatures this morning, reaching about 13 this afternoon. Stay with us. We will be right back on your Thursday.
Welcome back to Your Morning Ottawa. Do you have too much space? If your kids have recently moved out, or you are just looking to scale back your space, it may be time to think about downsizing. Here to break down the signs you are ready to downsize and some of your options is Taylor Bennett from the Bennett Property Shop. Good morning to you, Taylor.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so we got to go over this because sometimes it may be difficult to realize that maybe you got too much house.
Sure. Well, we spend most of our lives, we go from moving out of our parents' homes to buying our first house, maybe having a child and getting a little bit bigger as well, too, in terms of housing. We just don't know when the time is to actually go back down that side of the mountain. So in terms of asking some questions, I brought some questions along here for people to really kind of figure out, are they ready for that downsizing moment? Because it's a pretty big task to take on.
It is a big deal.
So right now, in terms of, do you have homes in your house you haven't visited or used in months? Now, these could be extra bedrooms. They could be your basement rec room. They could be just other areas, dining rooms, things like that. I think of my parents' house. We were just there for the dining room for Thanksgiving, but aside from Thanksgiving and maybe Christmas, that room's not really used all that much. So maybe it's time to actually look at it saying somebody else in my family can accommodate these dinners and accommodate these gatherings. I don't need to use as much as my house anymore. That might be a very good sign that you're actually ready to downsize.
Okay, so we're talking months here. If you haven't used a room, an area in months, could be a sign.
Exactly.
Okay.
Bedrooms, like I said, are something that, of course, we've kind of looked at. My sister and my brother-in-law used to live at our house as well too, and we've all left. My parents replaced us all with dogs, so they have that. Each of the dogs have their own bedrooms, but that you don't need full bedrooms for dogs anymore.
No, they like those small spaces anyway.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay, next up.
This is harder to keep up with the upkeep in the house, and this is a big one, and this is something that can really take away from the value of your house. And unfortunately, I have seen it where you do have kind of empty nesters or living alone. One of the two parties actually get injured or something happens to them, and all of a sudden the maintenance of the house just goes way down. The value of the house goes way down, and of course you want to make sure you can avoid that. So of course, when you are living by yourself, if you don't have anybody in your house to help out, the upkeep can gather up, but you can hire landscapers, you can hire snow removals, things like that, but they come at a cost, of course. So of course, if things are getting in too much, if you've been finally raking up your leaves right now and your back just aches, it'd take you 2 or 3 days to actually recover from that, it might be time to look at something a little bit less maintenance, where you don't have to maintain a yard or something like that.
Okay, got it. Duly noted. Next up.
Next up here, so of course, the two main reasons why people choose a house, of course, are school districts or proximity to work. So those are something that you've just become accustomed to. If you live in your family house, you've probably been there for a decade, maybe 2 decades. You've gotten used to how close things are to work, where your dentist is, things of that nature. Become creatures of habit, basically. So of course, those two things, once you retire, once you downsize, once your kids have moved, may not be important anymore. And you may actually want to move closer to some of that family that has left your house, closer to your kids that are in a different district. So the nice thing is those things are going to be important for the buyers of your house. So those things, of course, will add value to your home when you go to sell it.
Yeah, because you're so accustomed, right? If you've been in that house for about 20 years, you've raised your kids, you love the neighborhood, you're thinking, yeah, I'm in a great school district, and that's great. Well, that was great for you 20 years ago.
Exactly.
But maybe you don't have to worry about that right now.
My parents live in a house actually longer than I've been alive, so they've been there for a long time, and they still think, oh, I go here, I go there, but those things aren't really important as much anymore because I've moved out, my sisters have moved out, so we've had our own family, so we can host those dinners, we can have those things, and of course, other families will want to be close to those school districts and close to work as well.
Okay, we're talking about downsizing and when you know it's time. Here's the final point.
Final point here. So what are the options? So of course, the first things that come to mind when you want to downsize are bungalows. Bungalows, of course, they come in all different shapes and sizes. You've got detached bungalows, you've got townhouse bungalows, you've got condo bungalows, you've got semi-detached. So there's a whole bunch of variety within the bungalow category itself. But of course, you've got high-rise condos, low-rise condos, single-level living. You could also renovate your house as well. I know one of my clients, they're renovating a full basement suite downstairs with their own kitchens and bathrooms because their kids are going to move back upstairs. So they're going to have help upstairs if they need it, but they're going to have their own single-level dwelling, and they have a walkout basement, so it doesn't feel like it's a basement apartment. It feels like it's much more like a condo out there. So, of course, you can move into something that's low maintenance. You can make your house a little bit more maintenance, or you can hire services to make your house a little bit more low maintenance as well.
There's a lot of options.
Sure, absolutely.
When it comes to downsizing, you can really do that and take advantage of that. Taylor Bennett, always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Anytime. Glad to be here.
Appreciate to have you on. And don't forget, you can listen to Marnie Bennett every Saturday on News Talk 580 CFRA at 1 p.m. on the Real Estate and Wealth Show. The Ottawa Cancer Foundation is celebrating 30 years of care and impact at this year's Aurora Ball. All the details coming up. Our guests are standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge.
They swept the next game to sweep the series.
Kirk hits one to the opposite field. It's hit well. It is gone.
There you go. The Blue Jays scored 13 runs on 18 hits, including 5 homers, to beat the Mariners in Seattle in a must-win Game 3 of the ALCS. CP24's Melissa Duggan joins us from Seattle this morning to break down the big win. Break it all down for us. Good morning to you, Melissa.
Hey, good morning to you, Rosie. Yeah, what a win for those Blue Jays last night. 13-4, the final score, probably above and beyond expectations that Jays fans had. They just wanted a win last night, and boy, did the Jays deliver. They have bounced back. They are back in this best-of-7 series right now, making it 2-1. There is a shot at more and more October baseball going forward. What we saw off the bat, though, first inning, things not looking so hot for the Toronto Blue Jays. We saw a 2-run home run from Mariners batter Julio Rodriguez, and you can expect a lot of fans were probably thinking, oh no, are their wheels falling off here once again? Are we seeing a repeat of what we saw in Game 1 of Game 2 of this series? But then the Jays powered back in a big way. In the third inning, that is when they got 5 runs in, including a home run from Andres Jimenez. And then the run just kept getting tacked on from there. Another standout moment, it was in the 6th inning. That's when we saw that 3-run home run from Alejandro Kirk. At that point, bringing the score to 12-2. And that, Rosie, is when we saw the mass exodus of Mariners fans begin. They had had enough. They figured this is it. The Jays are taking it. It is very clear. And they got out of here.
Okay, so tell us more about the pitching matchup for Game 4.
Yeah, so, I mean, what we're looking ahead to is Max Scherzer. Of course, he is our 41-year-old pitcher. A lot of eyes on him. Certainly hasn't been solid throughout this season. Sometimes we have seen him falter a little bit, but we are expecting him to ideally make a strong performance on the mound tonight because we need that. We had that strong pitching last night from Shane Bieber. Yeah, he let that homer in on the first inning, but after that, a really clean showing from him.
We're so excited for Game 4. Melissa Duggan, CP24, right there in Seattle for us. Thank you so much for that update.
You know what, Rosie, I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you right now. I just lost my ear, but I will just say one thing to wrap this up if I can. So that win last night that we saw from the Jays means that we are going to see a Game 5 in Seattle. So yeah, we talked about Game 4. That's going down tonight. But Game 5, it is happening on Friday, which means we're going to be sticking around and seeing much more of what the Jays have to offer here. And fans turning out in a big way to support the Jays. We saw a strong showing last night, and I'm wondering if we're going to see even more here again tonight after that Jays win, because the Jays are back in this series, now sitting at 2-1. For now, going to toss it back to you.
Thank you so much, Melissa Duggan.
And we are shining a light on a powerful partnership this morning. Tricia Ross from the Ottawa Cancer Foundation and Meta Myers from EY Canada are here to share how the foundation is celebrating 30 years of care and impact, and how this year's Aurora Ball is bringing the community together for an unforgettable night of hope and celebration. Good morning to you both. Thank you so much for being here today. First of all, let's just talk about this massive transformation that the Ottawa Cancer Foundation has undergone in recent years.
Yeah, so that's the 30th anniversary is the perfect time for us to showcase this, frontline service model that we've developed since 2022. We were doing, cancer research, clinical trial funding for a very long time, but really saw that there was a need in the community to address the gap around supportive cancer care. And so transitioned to programs and services, frontline facing, really getting to what people needed and addressing a gap.
I love that. And tell us more about the Aurora Ball, because this is a night of celebration, hope, and just really all coming together for a great cause.
Yeah, on November 22nd, we'll be celebrating 30 years, and that's, that's nothing to, shy away from. It's such a fantastic opportunity for us to showcase what we're doing today. We have the Aurora Impact Awards, the Strumbellas are going to play.
Amazing.
There's so many ways for us to celebrate 30 years.
Incredible. And Mita, why was it important for you guys to come on board with this partnership?
Yeah, at EY, we're not just a professional services firm. We're part of this community where we live, where we work. So, and the family and giving back is part of our DNA and how we lead. So cancer touches everyone in our lives, so it becomes more personal. So for 3 decades, this extraordinary organization existed and supported the families and the patients, both at times of fear and uncertainty, and providing such a great hope. That's what matters. So as a board member, as well as partner at Ernst & Young, we're so proud to stand with Ottawa Cancer Foundation at this time and make sure that it ensures that it continues for another 30 years to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tricia, how can people get involved and get tickets to the Aurora Ball?
Yeah, so Ottawa Cancer .ca/Aurora Ball. So we're really excited. Just go to our website,
find the ticket link. We're so excited for people to attend. The tables are filling up, so we're looking forward to seeing as many faces as possible.
So get your tickets now because it probably will sell out very shortly.
Yes.
And it is such a great night of celebration and to learn more about how, cancer affects everybody and how you really impact everybody here in Ottawa. So thank you both so much for joining us today. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, over to you.
Celebrating 30 years. So amazing. We got some other milestone celebrations for you today. This Thursday, October 16th, we have a happy 5th birthday to Aviana. Love, Mama, Papa. We love you so much. We can't wait to celebrate your big day. If you have a milestone, celebrate it with us. Send us those birthday announcements for kids turning 13 and under or 100 or more. Also, some wedding anniversaries for those celebrating 50 or more, and a little bit of advice how you got there. All you have to do is email us your Morning Ottawa milestones at ctv.ca, and we will be sure to get that announcement on air.
It's Thursday, October 16th. Tragedy on Ottawa's roads. A child struck by a dump truck dies in hospital.
They swept the next game to sweep the series.
Kirk hits one to the opposite field. It's hit well. It is gone.
And it's out of here. The Toronto Blue Jays back in the series. They swing their way to their first win of the ALCS.
That's the sound of CKCU FM.
And celebrating 50 years of community radio, we'll tell you how CKCU is marking its big birthday. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Good morning. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb. And a much cooler morning for us. But don't worry, it's going to be a beautiful fall day later on this afternoon. We just got to get through the next couple hours.
That's okay. Maybe we can take the heat that we've seen, apply it towards the Ottawa Senators so they can go on a hot streak.
There you go.
And we can stop cooling off because a little bit of a tough start. We'll have some details on that coming up. But we're going to get right to our news headlines as some Ottawa parents came face to face with the supervisor overseeing the city's largest school board for the first time last night. Some people have raised concerns about a lack of accountability and transparency since the province appointed Robert Plamondon and stripped Ottawa Carleton District School Board trustees of their power. One of his first moves as the school board supervisor was canceling the controversial elementary program review last week. During last night's meeting, Plamondon responded to questions from committee members highlighting his main priorities, which are student success and well-being, engagement of staff, and responsible management of finances. But OCDSB school trustee Donna Blackburn says she spoke with Plamondon only once and says the supervisor is not listening to parents.
I thought it was very interesting. I thought, the supervisor gave a good political speech. He said things that people in the room wanted to hear, but I don't see the rubber hitting the road anytime soon.
And normally members of the public and media would be able to watch these meetings online, but the province ordered an end towards the live streams.
In developing news, a child has died in hospital after being hit by a dump truck in Overbrook. It happened yesterday afternoon on Presslin Road near Lola Street. Paramedics say the child was under 10 years old. Life-saving measures were performed on scene by responding officers before the child was rushed to hospital with critical injuries, where they later died. No other details have been provided.
A major development in the labor dispute impacting colleges across the province. The two sides reaching a deal, officially putting an end to the strike. More than 10,000 support staff walked off the job more than a month ago. The union confirming those picket lines came down yesterday and employees will return to work today. The details of the tentative agreement were shared with members but have not been made public. Union members will be voting on the deal in the coming weeks.
A city committee voted to keep the proposed two in development despite vocal oppositions. Developer Taggart and the Algonquins of Ontario want to build homes on 445 hectares in the rural southeast end. The Algonquin Anishinaabe First Nation Tribal Council opposes Tuwin. However, the Algonquins of Ontario support the project, but they are not recognized by the federal government.
When the table is set and Algonquins of Ontario are there, that is not a table that the legitimate communities are going to be a part of.
Like to say that the AOO are not like a, I guess, a rights-bearing Algonquin entity is, in my opinion, totally wrong.
There are also concerns over lack of transit, the cost of infrastructure, and if taxpayers will be on the hook.
Into sports now, the Toronto Blue Jays swing their way to a Game 3 win in the ALCS after the Jays lost those first 2 games at home.
They swept the next game to sweep the series.
Kirk hits one to the opposite field. It's hit well. It is gone.
Captain Kirk up to the plate, and this one's out of there. A 3-run dinger for Alejandro Kirk puts this one out of reach. It was one of the Jays' 5 home runs on the evening. Toronto takes Game 3 13-4 to cut Seattle's series lead in half. The Mariners now lead the ALCS 2-1, and Game 4 is tonight.
Rachel McAdams will soon be back on the big screen in a new horror comedy.
But getting us out of here, that should be your focus, not being Susie Homemaker over here.
What did you just say to me?
Let's not forget, I'm your boss. You work for me.
We're not in the office anymore, Bradley.
Looks good so far. In Send Help, McAdams plays Linda Little. She's an undervalued and disrespected employee who gets stranded with her awful boss, played by Dylan O'Brien, after a plane crash.
Now, they need to work together for survival, but their terrible relationship really pushes them to their limits. Send Help is in theaters on January 30th. I'm here for it.
Oh, me too.
Me too.
I feel like this is the type of horror movie that I could watch, a comedy
Yeah.
horror, you know?
Yeah.
A little bit funny, not too scary.
Yeah, nothing really to fear there. And Rachel McAdams, she's so good at everything.
Oh, she's
Everything
amazing.
she's so true.
An amazing Canadian talent.
Yeah.
I just won't watch that before I'm on a plane because then I get a little scared.
So there is still a scare factor in there.
Of course, I find scary things in everything. Yes, not a bad looking start to your morning. It's just cool to start things off. So temperature-wise, a cold start, but at least it's nice and clear and sunny out there. We're sitting at 1, 0 in Pembroke, still -4 in Brockville. So quite a chilly across the region to start off your day. We will see clear skies this morning and that sunshine into the day ahead. A beautiful fall day in the forecast for us. 13 degrees is your daytime high. So very seasonal-like conditions throughout the region this morning, and that will continue into your afternoon. 10 degrees is your daytime high in Mont Tremblant. So over the next couple of days, really some beautiful fall conditions today into tomorrow. It's those overnight lows, still a little chilly tonight, dropping down to -1. So we will be below that freezing mark into our overnight, which means tomorrow morning, a cold start to your Friday, but beautiful into the afternoon. As we head into the weekend, chance of scattered showers. So it's looking a little soggy from Saturday, and that rain, a chance of scattered showers continues right through into the end of next week. However, temperatures really warm, 16 degrees, 20 degrees into your weekend forecast. So we will be a little bit above seasonal temperature-wise into Saturday and Sunday. On your roads this morning, there is moderate to heavy traffic on the 417 eastbound from Moody to Rochester. We're also seeing moderate volume 417 westbound between Innis and Parkdale. There is moderate traffic on the 174 westbound between Plasterlines and the Split, and on the bridges in from Gatineau, the Champlain Bridge is seeing heavy traffic, while the McDonald-Cartier Bridge is seeing moderate traffic this morning. Well, coming up next, we are celebrating 50 years of community radio. CKCU-FM is celebrating its big birthday, and we'll tell you how you can get in on the fun coming up next. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam this morning. A chilly start to your day, sitting at 1 degree with a high of 13 into the afternoon. It is 8:08 on your Thursday.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could win $20,000. For your chance to win, watch CTV Your Morning Ottawa, weekday mornings 6 to 9.
That's the sound of CKCU-FM.
Amazing. Welcome back, everybody. CKCU first hit the airwaves on November 15th, 1975, and they are still going strong thanks to the energy and commitment of its volunteers and the generosity of the community. Planning for the 50th anniversary Union Weekend is well underway, And here to walk us down memory lane and share the plans for that big celebration are Leah Kiesling, station director, and CKCU FM and longtime volunteer Bruce White. Good morning to the two of you.
Good morning.
Morning.
50 years.
Yes.
And everything has changed so much and gone through so many different times with everyone going on. Can you run me through just a little bit about the history of the station?
Gosh, well, we came up in November 15th, 1975. I am going to say I was born November 2nd, 1975, so I've grown up with the station and I turned 50 along with it. It has been run the entire time by the generosity and incredible volunteers and community. It's independent. We are funded by donors. Yeah, and Bruce can actually tell you a little bit more about...
The station actually goes back a little more than 50 years because it was an AM signal and a closed circuit on campus only for a radio club, I guess you would call it, and broadcast AM 670 for quite a few years. But they managed to get the FM license 1975, so it was on midnight November 14th or midnight 01 November 15th, depending on how you count these things, of 1975 that we went on air full-time, 24 hours a day, 365 a year.
And what do you think are a couple of key component parts for this longevity? Because you don't see it, especially in this industry, for a long time. And to still be thriving and to be 50 years strong or over 50 years, what are a couple of things you guys think about? This is the reason why we've had success.
So what I can say, I started in August, so I'm relatively new to the job. And what I can say is I am bowled over by the dedication and love for the station and by the work of the volunteers. You know, it's such an incredible place to be. I would encourage anyone to come down, come see us and get some of that energy, because it's like no other place. You know, people show up there on their free time just to do a show, to learn, to work. It's unbelievable. So the heart there, I think, is really what that is. You know, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about the past and the 50-year history, but you know, you said you've been there since August. So now what does the future look like for the station?
Well, the future is very bright. It's wonderful. I mean, again, I think what we're going to do is really go back to the heart of what the station is, which is everything I'm talking about, which is those volunteers, the community, see how we can really grow as a media organization. Radio is our heart and our drive. We're experimenting now with a lot of other kinds of mediums and platforms, bringing young people. So I think there's a really good energy, and right now there's never been a more important time for media like this in the world. So please come on down if you're interested.
And you guys have a drive coming up. Can you talk a little bit about what that entails?
Well, back in 1977, no, 78, excuse me. There were some changes to the advertising policy. The CRTC didn't want us to be competing with commercial stations for advertising. So some of our ad revenue dried up. And we invented a funding drive. So every November, timed around the birthday of November 15th, we have a funding drive where we do basically a, some people call it a telethon, but it's not television, it's radio. And we raise money from our loyal listeners. And this year's target is $193,000. Upgraded from, again, you look at the history of things and you realize what inflation is.
Yeah, that's a good measure, right?
Yeah,
I see it.
There were ambitious targets in the past of $93,100 to coincide with our 93.1 on the dial, and it's inflation. And that's one of the messages I like to try to get out, is that we have a really good, loyal fan base. Some of them are still donating the same amount they did 20 years ago or 30 years ago. It's time to, figure out that inflation happens and get a few more pennies into the jar.
Yeah, well, Bruce, you are the heart and blood of stations like this with the volunteering. It's amazing to see your commitment towards radio, because you know what, radio and TV are so important, especially locally here. So congratulations on the 50 years.
Thanks.
And continuing on as we move forward in the brightness. Appreciate, Bruce and Leah, your time this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Come on down to the station.
Yeah, Melissa, over to you.
Well, your morning just got a whole lot richer, and that's because we're giving away that $20K, and it is time for your daily code word. Just imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand, a dream vacation, home renovations, or paying off some of those bills. The possibilities are endless. So today's word is vacation. Maybe you can even book a vacation with that $20K. All you have to do right now is head over to our contest page, ctvottawa.ca, or scan that QR code on your screen. Enter today's code word along with all of your information for your chance to win this CTV Your Morning Ottawa's $20,000 giveaway. And make sure to watch us tomorrow for a brand new code word. Good luck. Well, coming up here on Your Morning Ottawa, it's the perfect vibe for Halloween, a celebration of music of Danny Elfman. We'll get a preview live coming up next. And there is some sun shining this morning in our Skycam on George Street. However, it is still a little chilly. We are sitting at 1 degree. It will be a beautiful fall day into the afternoon with a high of 13. It is 8:17. Happy Thursday. The Ottawa Pops Orchestra presents the music of Danny Elfman, one of Hollywood's most distinctive and imaginative composers. And joining us today is Matthew Roy, and we also have Justin Azared. Good morning to you both.
Morning, morning.
Thank you all for being here today. This is so exciting. Can you tell us a little bit about Pops Orchestra and what will be happening?
For sure. So it is a semi-professional organization here in Ottawa, and really what we do is we try to make classical music accessible for the general public. So a lot of the people that come see our shows are coming for the very first time.
Cool.
So we try to find ways to kind of trick them into the concert hall and then hopefully have a really good time and come back later on.
I love that. It sounds like a good time. And what can people expect when they're inside listening to this music?
For sure. So we picked Danny Elfman,
who's
a spooky, kooky kind of guy.
Ooh,
and he's
perfect
kind
for
of
this
like,
time of the year.
Yeah, he's kind of like this vampire that's stuck in his tower that stayed there.
Okay.
And then so we're just dragging him out with some of this music, bringing him forward. So you probably don't know who Danny Elfman is, but you might know Edward Scissorhands.
Yes.
Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
Beetlejuice. There's so many iconic Halloween Tim Burton-esque scores that Danny Elfman wrote the music for.
And what's it like to play the music of Danny Elfman?
He's a very, like he said, spooky, kooky guy. He plays with a lot of dissonance, a lot of interesting sounding chords, and he really fits the aesthetic of a lot of these notorious movies that we all know, right? Like The Simpsons, Edward Scissorhands, like you mentioned, Batman.
He's very percussive, so he was a percussionist first, so he kind of like went into like this music later on. So a lot of what we're saying is like with Beetlejuice, it's very contrasting, so it's actually quite difficult to put together.
And what's the reaction like from the crowd when they start hearing, you know, these anthems that they probably recognize?
Of course, and we try to do things differently.
Okay.
With classical music, usually you're not supposed to clap between movements, but we tell people clap whenever you want to clap, whenever you're enjoying it. So really, when you kind of go in the hall and you're experiencing this music that's been the soundtrack of your childhood for all this time, it's kind of a visceral reaction that you have to all of that. So we really want people to come as they are, to be comfortable and to enjoy the music.
Incredible. And what are you going to be playing for us this morning?
We're going to be playing a little bit of Edward Scissorhands for you guys today.
All right. Well, we'll step out of the way and let you take it away for us.
Get her done. One, two, three, four.
That was amazing. So exciting as well. So how can people, you know, be able to watch the concert?
Yeah, you can find us just Ottawa Pops on all the socials and online, ottawapopsorchestra.ca, and hopefully you like this show and everything else that we have programmed.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for joining us
having
today. You're welcome. Will, over to you.
That was truly amazing. We're going to flip the switch a little bit here. What would you do if your new boyfriend had a troubling ex that was all of a sudden back in his life? Sophie and Jeff are tackling this problem with one of their listeners in this week's Therapy Thursday.
Looking for some advice on a messy situation with her boyfriend of 4 months who has an ex-girlfriend with a restraining order. He's dealing with trying to get her stuff back to her through a mutual friend. But Leah's worried that the communication between her boyfriend and his ex is going to continue.
This anonymous texter says, it's the "I hope I'm enough" comment that does it for me. No relationship should make you second guess yourself like that or question your worth. It's time to move on.
Sometimes when you're in something, it's really hard to see all sides of it because you're so close to it. If you take a minute and say, hey, listen, maybe, boyfriend, you need a little bit of time to figure some of this out. And I love you and I will be here ready to go when you're ready to go. But it sounds to me like there's a few things you need to work out first before we can move on.
I don't mind that at all. I think that's a really, really mature way to approach it. One of the things that struck us when you and I first read this yesterday, I remember you saying, she says, he's a really great guy. You've been dating for 4 months. I got to be honest, I don't think you know each other as well as you think after 4 months.
Well, what makes him wonderful? I wonder. You know, if you're going to say he's a wonderful man, what makes him wonderful? What is it about him that is so great that you would be willing to put yourself through all of this? If you take a step back and you allow him to figure stuff out, A, it'll either work itself out and you don't have to worry about any of the mess because it's not your problem.
Right.
Or B, it will fall into place exactly as it was meant to, and then you've dodged a bullet.
This text just came in from Mike. Does he still have the ex's stuff?
Yeah.
What's he holding on to?
Yeah, maybe they live together. I don't know. To be fair, if you live with someone for a long time and you guys break up, sometimes it takes forever to separate all the things. Like, I know it took my ex and I some time to get all the things sorted out. It sucks.
Yeah.
But most of it's just getting thrown out at this point because what are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Always tough in those exit situations. Great advice, though, from our friends Jeff and Sophie. Well, coming up, we'll tell you how the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Ottawa is honoring Breast Cancer Awareness Month through their annual Pinktober campaign. That's coming up in just a matter of a few moments. Stay with us, everybody. We will be right back.
CTV Ottawa is your home for local news.
Katie Griffin, CTV News in the Byward Market.
Centertown.
Canada.
Stittsville. Bringing you local stories that matter the most to you.
Kimberly Fowler in Westboro.
Orleans. Barhaven.
From every corner of the community.
In the Glebe.
Manotick.
Merrickville.
Brockville. From the team you trust, we are CTV News Ottawa.
Live, local, breaking news. CTV News Ottawa.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
We have had, I would say, some spoiled conditions over the last little while. Yesterday was a beautiful afternoon, but we have been warning people that's going to get a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
And it started today.
The good news is our afternoons are still glorious. It's just the overnight lows, which means the early mornings. So it's like there's a chunk of our day that's a little cooler now, but majority of it's looking pretty good.
But like we're okay with this too, because we like popping open the windows to getting that nice cool breeze in there.
Layer
up
up
a little bit.
Layer up, fall fashion. I'm here for it.
Sweater weather. That's a tongue twister in itself.
Nice and cozy. All right, right to our news headlines. Some Ottawa parents came face to face with the supervisor overseeing the city's largest school board for the first time last night. Some people have raised concerns about a lack of accountability and transparency since the province appointed Robert Plamondon and stripped Ottawa Carleton District School Board trustees of their power. One of his first moves as the school board supervisor was canceling the controversial elementary program review last week. During last night's meeting, Plamondon responded to questions from committee members highlighting his main priorities, which are student success and well-being and engagement of staff in responsible management of finances. But OCDSB school trustee Donna Blackburn says she spoke with Plamondon only once and says the supervisor is not listening to parents.
I thought it was very interesting. I thought, the supervisor gave a good political speech. He said things that people in the room wanted to hear, but I don't see the rubber hitting the road anytime soon.
Normally, members of the public and media would be able to watch these meetings online, but the province ordered an end towards those live streams.
In developing news, a child has died in hospital after being hit by a dump truck in Overbrook. It happened yesterday afternoon on Presslin Road near Lola Street. Paramedics say the child was under 10 years old. Life-saving measures were performed on scene by responding officers before the child was rushed to hospital with critical injuries, where they later died. No other details have been provided.
A major development in the labor dispute impacting colleges across the province. The two sides reaching a deal, officially putting an end to the strike. More than 10,000 support staff walked off the job more than a month ago. The union confirming those picket lines came down yesterday, and employees will return to work today. The details of the tentative agreement were shared with members but have not been made public. Union members will be voting on the deal in the coming weeks.
A city committee voted to keep the proposed two-in development despite vocal opposition. Developer Taggart and the Algonquins of Ontario want to build homes on 445 hectares in the rural southeast end. The Algonquin Anishinaabe First Nation Tribal Council opposes two-in. However, the Algonquins of Ontario support the project, but they are not recognized by the federal government.
When the table is set and Algonquins of Ontario are there, that is not a table that the legitimate communities are going to be a part of.
Like to say that the AOO are not a rights-bearing Algonquin entity is, in my opinion, totally wrong.
There are also concerns over lack of transit, the cost of infrastructure, and if taxpayers will be on the hook.
To sports news, the Toronto Blue Jays swing their way to a Game 3 win in the ALCS after the Jays lost those first two games at home.
They swept the next game to sweep the series.
Kirk hits one to the opposite field. It's hit well. It is gone.
It's what Jays fans wanted. Captain Kirk up to the plate and hit that one out of the park. A 3-run dinger for Alejandro Kirk puts this one out of reach. It was one of the Jays' 5 home runs on the night. Toronto takes Game 3 13-4 to cut Seattle's series lead in half. The Mariners now lead the ALCS 2-1, but you don't have to wait much longer. Game 4 is tonight.
And an unforgettable wildlife encounter for passengers waiting to board a ferry in BC.
All right, so the ferry delay proved to be well worth it. Passengers heading into Horseshoe Bay were treated to a humpback whale sighting.
So jealous. Right in the harbor as the curious animals splashed around the bay. When I was in BC, that's where I went to school originally, and my sister for my birthday got me a whale watching tour because she knows it's just, I have a fascination with them. Yeah. We barely saw any. I didn't see any killer whales, which are my favorite. Saw one humpback way in the distance.
Super far.
But sometimes things like that, just great moments. Oh, we're delayed. Boom, Mother Nature.
The craziest when you see people paddle boarding or like in a little kayak and then the whale's coming. I'd be terrified.
Then you realize how small you are.
Yes, exactly.
They're so big, and you don't really notice until you're kind of around them in person.
That close, yeah, and how majestic they are as a creature, absolutely. Today's daytime high is 13, so fairly average for this time of the year. We'll see seasonal light conditions into your afternoon, and temperatures haven't really warmed up so much, so it is a cool start to your morning, but beautiful into your day ahead. A gorgeous fall afternoon in the forecast. Very similar day to yesterday. It's just the mornings that are chilly, and of course the evenings and overnight when that sun goes down that we're dealing with these cooler conditions. But into the day ahead, it's going to be absolutely stunning later on this afternoon. But again, tonight dropping down to -1, so that's when we will see this cooler weather, which means tomorrow morning to start off your Friday. It will be a chilly start to your day, but then gorgeous into the day ahead. 13 is the daytime high. A little bit warmer heading into the weekend. 16 and 20 are your highs into Saturday and Sunday, and it is looking a little bit wet. So a chance of scattered showers from Saturday right through until next week. So we're definitely seeing some more soggier conditions over the next week.
Weather brought to you by Yegendorf Rashid. Experience, knowledge, and a commitment to excellence.
And the 417 eastbound, we're seeing a 25-minute delay right now from Moody to Rochester. The 417 westbound, also a 25-minute delay between Innis and Parkdale. The 174 westbound seeing a 15-minute delay between Plaster Lanes and the Split. So heavy volume east to west right now on your drive-in.
Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Ottawa is honoring Breast Cancer Awareness Month all month long. And there's going to be so many things happening at Hard Rock International. This is part of what is happening at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Ottawa. I mean, the area is adorned with pink. There's information about that whole campaign with Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And joining me now is Christine Crump, who is here with the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino talking about Pinktober.
Yes.
Which is really an important thing happening. And also we got mixologist with us here who's going to mix an incredible drink for us here. Sam, welcome as well.
Thank
welcome
you.
back to you.
Thank you.
Okay, so can you tell us what's going on here, Pinktober?
Yes, so this is actually Hard Rock's 26th anniversary for Pinktober. So it's our global campaign every October, and we're raising awareness and funds for breast cancer.
Yeah, this is many years now that it's been going on. This is the first year we've got Hard Rock Hotel and Casino here in Ottawa. So now Ottawa gets to take part in this whole event here that's bringing awareness to breast cancer research. Why is it so important for the organization to take part in bringing to light breast cancer research and bringing Pinktober into full effect?
Well, it impacts so many women. I mean, 1 in 8 Canadian women are going to be impacted by breast cancer. And in our 26th year, it's for a global campaign. We all have someone that we know,
It's true.
or it's ourselves who have been impacted.
Not far removed, right? If it's not yourself, it's somebody down the line here, not too far down the line.
Yeah.
Okay, so how has the organization helped build that kind of awareness? Are you raising funds as well? Could you have a number from all these years?
Over those 26 years, we've raised over $13 million.
Oh, wow, that's a good number. That's incredible.
And we do it, some of the ways that we do it, we have merchandise, sporting the merchandise here in the Rock Shop. So proceeds from this merchandise, we've partnered with Sports Illustrated Swimsuit this year, so we were getting incredible reach from the swimsuit models. Also our pastries, and of course our cocktails and mocktails proceeds. Some of those proceeds go to the campaign as well.
Okay, so big event happening. Can you give us deets? Of course, it's at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Ottawa. Right here?
Yes, it sure is, all month long. So you can come in every day of the week, visit the Rock Shop, visit the Hard Rock Cafe, visit Council Oaks Steaks and Seafood, where you can meet Sam.
So Sam, you're over there. Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to make us a cocktail?
A cocktail. It's
And a
called-
mocktail?
Yeah.
All right.
And a mocktail.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
So we're going to make Lady Rosette today.
Ooh.
So Lady Rosette is a gin-based cocktail. I came up with this drink. It's based on an early 20th century drink called the Pink Lady.
So what you got there? What's
so
that?
this is gin and elderflower liqueur. I'm going to be putting in a couple dashes of grapefruit bitters. I'm also going to put in a bit of fresh lemon juice.
I just love to watch mixologists work, right? You can see their minds just crafting this wonderful blend of different drinks.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. So I've also added some egg whites too. The idea there is to get some mouthfeel. We're going to create a meringue with that. This is really a big part of our color.
Okay.
This is a pink peppercorn syrup that we make at the Council Oak. To add color as well, we're going to add a couple pieces of dried hibiscus. Really nice way to add a natural pink element to any cocktail.
Beautiful.
One of my other kind of ideas or kind of important pieces when it
What's
came
happening
to this.
here?
Yeah, so this is vanilla yogurt. I wanted the drink to be approachable but also interesting, right?
Sure.
The idea is to sell it so we can donate as much money as possible.
Okay.
So I thought, everyone finds yogurt approachable, but at the same time, it's an interesting element in a cocktail. So because there's an egg white in here, we're going to dry shake it. This means without ice. This essentially creating a meringue, much like you would for baking.
Oh, and then we're talking a little bit of, what, foam?
Exactly, exactly, that foam
can't
meringue.
wait to see that.
And so then we're going to jump in and add some ice.
Oh, nice.
Give that final shake.
Nice ice, baby. And it's so good to know, Christine, that there's also a mocktail, right?
100%
Yeah,
there
to
is,
partner
yes.
with the cocktail.
You bet. And $1 from each drink item goes directly to Pinktober, and same with the pastries as well.
That is good. So $1 from the sale of each of the cocktail or mocktail.
That's right.
Goes toward Pinktober. Oh, let's see the final pour,
Yes, Sam's being modest. This is actually his recipe.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I came up with this one. So on the rim, you see a bit of
oh, that's beautiful.
Peppercorn, pink peppercorn, and hibiscus dust.
Okay.
With a bit of amped up luster from the gold flakes there.
Christine, it must be fun to know that you've got, this mixologist here creating these wonderful cocktails that are going to turn around and go to help fund breast cancer research.
Yeah, through the Hard Rock Heals Foundation, our team is really proud to participate in activities like this, and it's really important to the brand and important to all of us.
Oh, got that in there. Okay.
A little bit of
I'm loving it.
lemon oil there.
Sam, thank you so much. That looks like a work of art. I'm going to have to take a taste in a little bit, just in a moment here. Gotta thank you, Christine Crump from Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Ottawa, and Sam, super duper mixologist. It's all about Pinktober, and you can celebrate all month long here. Thank you very much to both of you for coming by. Thank you so much. Thank you. And if you know a great local chef or restaurant you think we can feature on Your Morning Kitchen, let us know. Your Morning Ottawa at ctv.ca. Here's a live look at our Centennial Glass Skycam. Look at that beautiful skyline. Gorgeous looking day. Plenty of sunshine. 8:43. We'll be right back.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
If you've got one coming up, it's time to start planning your special day at the Capital Wedding Show. This is Sunday only at the Ottawa Conference and Event Center, and it's your chance to meet with experts and vendors that can help you plan your wedding ceremony and reception, plus live entertainment, prizes, and food and drink samples. Get your tickets online in advance for just $12. Another one for the ladies, the National Women's Show is this weekend. Grab some friends or go solo and check out food samples, health and wellness tips, home decor ideas, cooking demos, and lots more. It also features exclusive products and free goodies. Saturday and Sunday at the EY Center. This is definitely the ultimate girls' day out. And last today, it's the Hintonburg Halloween Party. This is happening Saturday at the Parkdale Market, and it's a dog parade and market raising money for local dog rescues. The dogs are dressing up in Halloween costumes. If you have a dog, dress them up and bring them. I will be there. Finn will be there. He is very excited. We will see you there. Lots more happening this weekend around Ottawa. For the full list and all the details, check ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, I'm Tania Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Well, Fetch Local Markets is a dog lover's delight. Victoria Vaudry is the founder of Fetch Local Markets and owner of Doggo Cates and Treats. And we begin with her today for today's live local shopping spree. Good morning to you.
Hello.
And good morning to Summit. If you guys hear a bark, a whine, or a I want a treat, Summit's to blame at this point, right?
He knows what he wants. Right on cue.
But we've been doing the nice bribe treat, which always works each and every time. So tell us a little bit about what we have here today, because I think this is such a great idea to have this market like this.
Absolutely. So it started off kind of as a way of having dogs at the market, obviously, but also having a good variety. So we have stuff for dogs, of course. Yeah, take it, Summit. So we have stuff for dogs, of course, but there's also a really good variety. So no matter if you're a dog lover or a cat lover or not a pet person at all, you can find something at the market. And we usually work with rescues, and we have nail trims on site. So there's a lot for the pups to do.
I think that's so amazing, because you don't want to just go there and leave the pups at home. So this is the way that they can experience, maybe meet some friends too. All right, Summit, you've been very good. Which one should I give Summit right here out of all the selections that you have?
How about the donut?
The donut?
How do you feel about donut?
Oh.
How's that?
Look at the eyes, Fish. Get in there. Look at the eyes.
How's
That is a good Okay, can we sit?
Oh, wow.
Very good. There you go. Whoa, hammer it down. Okay, so
One
clearly the treats work.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your business here.
So it's Doggo Cakes and Treats. So we make all hypoallergenic and natural treats. So the small ones like this here, they're all hand painted.
Come on.
And we use all natural food coloring, so no artificial food coloring either. It's all powders. And then we usually have like our mini Halloween ones. They come in different themes. And then we have our bigger treats. And as you saw, donuts, which are usually a big hit.
And obviously a big hit with the Big Pup as well. And Summit can confirm they taste good. Julie, we're coming over to you. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Tell me a little bit what you have here today and your business, because this is so cool. And I am so bad at crafts, so it's good you're
Well,
here.
like if you I do workshops.
Perfect.
So I'm for the market, I'm bringing a selection of the Halloween earrings. So I've got these ones here that are all made out of polymer clay and bitter resin. These ones are screen printed. I have some pins here for people that don't have their ears pierced. There's also some Halloween themed necklaces. And then I also have a bead bar. So this is our Halloween specific tray, but we have all sorts. There's probably about 8 more trays like this that go. So yeah, people can come up, they can grab a bead board, design their bracelet, pick whatever beads they like, and then once they have it all designed, they can go through and put it on the string. And then we also have earrings, keychains, and all sorts of things that they can make.
It's so cool because you're able to, if you can envision it, like you can see
Yes,
exactly what it's going to look like here. What a good idea. I love that. And look at this. Look at the artistry in here. Like these are so cool, giving you that Halloween vibe. And Halloween's my favorite time of year.
So fun.
All right, and Pamela, we are going to end this with some, we had some treats for the dog. Are these still treats for the dog? Or maybe I can sample some myself?
Yes.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit, before we get to the really cool cookies that you've made here, tell me a little bit about your business.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for having us here. My name is Pamela, and together with my husband, we run a small cookie business here in Ottawa. We started for my love of baking, of course, and sharing some flavors that inspired by Filipino flavors and Asian flavors as well. Yeah, so today we got some of our favorites, like we have ube creme brulee.
That's
so
this one right here?
Yes. So this is one of our best seller in the market. So this is made of purple yam or sweet potato, or they call it like taro. And we have pandan, which is a tropical leaf or dessert in Asian countries. And also this is turon. Turon is like a Filipino-inspired dessert. It's like banana spring roll. So we have here banana, jackfruit, caramel, and something like crunchy on top.
Okay, and you got to tell me about our guy over here with the eyes, just because he's not just staring at me, he's staring at our cameraman as well, just having him do a close-up.
Yeah.
What's this guy right here?
Oh, we have this Cookie Monster. It will be available on coming Fetch Local Market, which is on October 25. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Well, you said this is with sweet potato, so that means it's healthy, right?
Yes.
That means it's a healthy cookie.
It's actually the people said it's not too sweet, so I hope you like it.
Oh, well, Summit had 2 treats, so I get at least 1. I think that's fair, right, guys?
It's the rules.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A healthy cookie. This is so amazing. Where can people find you guys this weekend and talk about a little bit about the dates and times?
So it's actually next weekend. It's next Saturday, October 25th. It's 10 to 3, and it's at the Ray Friel complex right outside. We'll have about 50 or so vendors.
What more could you ask for? Dog treats. We can look fashionable during this perfect time of year with some cookies to have it off. Thank you all for joining us this morning. I definitely thank you, and Summit does too. Thanks, guys.
Thank you
Thanks
so much.
Taking a peek outside at our Skycam on George Street. Excuse my mouthful of delicious cookie, but I'm really not that sorry. It is a beautiful day, just a little crispy out there. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back, everybody. I would just like to reconfirm that the treat that I had of a cookie was not the dog treat.
I was like, was
Not
not
this
a
one.
dog treat?
Got it. Okay.
However, apparently they are not too bad for human consumption.
I don't recommend it, but I have taken the shot. So.
But it's all healthy, great for the dogs.
Exactly. It's all natural. So
Amazing.
It's going to be safe if you get desperate.
Okay, that is good to know.
What I will say is I approve of that cookie because it's already gone.
You ate the whole thing.
I gave a little bit to our camera operator on Fish, but man, that was good. It was sweet.
Really
potato.
good?
It's healthy for you.
Can I just do a little shopping here?
Right?
Hello.
Aren't these
These
adorable?
are gorgeous.
Look at these little
Just in time for
spooky
Halloween.
ones.
Look how it matches the outfit.
We had a couple of things here.
These are
tomorrow.
so cute. Was this your design, Will?
It was not. Mine would have been much more terrible. We all know that.
Look at these. You missed these little skull beads. Look at how cute those are for Halloween.
I love these little. Yeah, we're doing a little shopping. That's right.
Orange.
Yeah, that's what happens at Fetch Local.
Okay, now we're just doing a little
That is
shopping.
so much fun. Okay, so here's a look at what's on tomorrow while Will and Melissa do a little bit more shopping. We're checking out this week's new movies with Matt Demers, Mr. Hollywood. CTV's Avery Haynes joins us to talk about her next investigation into the meth trade between Canadian drug dealers and dealers in New Zealand. And if you got a dog, we have a Halloween segment for you. We get a preview of the Hindenburg Halloween with a doggy costume fashion show.
I feel like we just played like
That
a
is going to be
game of
great. Thank you all for coming on here. We'll see you right back here tomorrow morning. Take good care.